Welcome back to DIY with Dave. In today's video, I'm going to be making a face grain cutting board from scratch. I've been really excited for this project because I love to make things that are practical, things that I can actually use. And I do a lot of cooking, I do a lot of cutting. I find it therapeutic to chop things. And so this is going to be a great project for something that I'm actually going to be using on a regular basis. For my board, I'm going to be using hard maple, which is a great wood for cutting boards because it has tight grain patterns, which makes it smooth and also helps prevent bacteria, and it's also very durable. There are a lot of different ways to make cutting boards. You can use face grain, you can use edge grain, you can use end grain. Each type of cutting board has its own strengths and weaknesses, its positives and negatives. For this board, I'm going to be using face grain, which means that I'm going to be gluing the boards together along their edges. I'll talk more about the pros and cons of end grain, face grain, and edge grain cutting boards in a future video, as I plan on making a lot more cutting boards in the future. For this cutting board, I'm going to be using rough cut lumber. This is straight from the sawmill, so you still have saw marks in it. I like buying this kind of lumber because I'm able to mill it myself, and it's also much cheaper than buying lumber that's already been finished on a couple faces. I'm also able to joint it in a way that preserves a lot more of the lumber, and so I tend to get thicker boards than I would if I were to buy it already planed. After picking my boards and cutting them to a rough length, I will use my jointer to get two square edges. I really love my jointer. I bought it used off of Craigslist for only $125, which I think is very affordable, and I've definitely gotten my money's worth. The blades are also pretty cheap. They're about $12 for a set. They can even be resharpened. Once I have a square face and a square edge, I use my thickness planer to get all the boards to a uniform thickness. I need to run them through a few times to get them exactly where I want them to be. I also run them through the thickness planer on their edges to make sure that that edge is square and can be glued up easily. From there, I will give them all good sanding and then glue them up. I'm going to be using a Titebond 3, which is a great glue. It's waterproof and it's non-toxic, so it's great for cutting boards or bowls or anything that's going to come in contact with food.
Those are ear protection for when it gets noisy.
Oh. Are those headphones?
Yeah, they're like headphones.
Oh. Can I wear them?
You want to wear them?
Yep.
You want to.
After letting the glue cure overnight, I decided to run the board through the planer one more time just to get it smooth and to get rid of any glue squeeze out. But this ended up being a big mistake because I got terrible snipe. Snipe is when a planer digs into the front or back of a workpiece due to how the planer blades and rollers are placed. It's hard to control snipe on shorter boards like this, but I should have known that this was going to happen, and there are things that I could have done to prevent it or to mitigate it. But now to fix it, I will just need to do some heavy-duty sanding. After sanding, I give the top of the board a gentle round over with my router and the bottom of the board a small chamfer. One of the corners of my board chipped out when I was adding the chamfer, but no reason to fear. I've got Superglue. And so I add a bit of Superglue to glue this piece back on so that it doesn't chip off, and clamp it down. Now I'm putting a little bit of sawdust between my clamp and the board just to make sure that it doesn't stick. And then I'll sand it one more time once it sets, just to make sure that it's smooth. Now that the piece is all sanded, it's time to apply a finish. There are a lot of different kinds of food-safe sealers or finishes that you can use. I decided to try this Butcher Block conditioner, which is a mix of mineral oil and natural waxes like beeswax. Because this is the first time that I'm sealing it, I want to add a few coats to make sure that it sinks in. I'll give it some time to sink in, and then I'll wipe it dry. Now, the last step is to add feet. This is definitely not required, definitely optional, but it helps the cutting board grip and stay sturdy. It also gives me a place to grab it and keeps it off of surfaces that may be wet. I do drill pilot holes into the wood before I screw in the feet, just to make sure that there's no splitting of the wood. So there you have it, a beautiful cutting board made out of beautiful wood. That was a fun project. I really love to build things that are practical and build things that I can actually use. And I plan on making more cutting boards in the future, maybe using different methods and different materials. Let me know what you think about my board in the comments section. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure that you do that as well. I've got a lot of great projects coming up, a lot more videos that I'm planning on putting out there. And I guess we'll see you next time.